I'm going to wander for a second. I'll be right back.
His name was Jacques Palby, and he taught me how to recognize flowers by smell and animals by the touch and hearing. And then when I got older, I invented this braille system.
After that, I decided I wanted to be a pilot. I didn't want to see military, so that was my year. After that, I became a so in 1920, I lived my first book. I was thinking about making a note, but I had no time to read it because I was dating Marshall along. As I arrived, I was really glad to sit in. Not even 5 minutes later, 23 others watched at me at first. I never seen my wife, Cornelia.
I got married to Felipe Moniz in 1479 before I set sail. When I retired in 1504, I knew it was a sad day for everyone because I knew I'd be leaving all my discoveries behind.
Hello, my name is Cynthia O'Connor. I was born on August 16th, 1970. My mother's name is Aiden, and my father's name is Karen. My daddy's name is John, and my sister's name is I grew up on a ranch called the Louisiana. My father taught me how to drive a truck and a tractor by the time I was 9 years old. My mother was my teacher until I was in 5th grade, so we moved to El Paso, Texas with my grandmother. I graduated, I went to Mexico to school for girls. I was in Mexico.
Shakespeare. My name is William Shakespeare. I was born in the year of 1564. I was best known for my poems and plays. I am first 1752. My favorite city was in Stratford, New Jersey. I grew up in a family of 10. My mother's name is Mary Shakespeare, and when her father died, she inherited his 60-acre estate. My father's name is John Shakespeare. I'm the third oldest in my family. This one because one of my sisters died in infant. My parents were always sad because of goodness. When I grew up, I wrote my favorite plays, which were King John, Henry V,
Hi, my name is Susan Brown Anthony. I was born February 15, 1820. My mother's name is Lucy Anthony. My father's name is Dan Anthony. As a child, I was homeschooled by Mary Perkins and Father Collins. Mary inspired me to craft women's rights. I became so fascinated in women's rights, I took a stand for right for women to vote, went to an election, voted, and was arrested. My first job was at 17 years old. I was a teacher for the village school, but I wasn't treated fairly because I knew I was fired. My father became bankrupt, and we had to sell all of our belongings. Luckily for me, my uncle Joshua got back all of our belongings. I worked on the temperance Bible slavery issue, married women pop gap, and made many speeches in front of women. The Married Women's Pop Gap is going on in Georgia. Here, women can now own their own property and still get married. The temperance groups were to promote people from drinking to healthcare, and slavery had to stop because none of the slaves were treated fairly. I worked with Elizabeth Cunningham for a long time. We became the best of friends, and she helped me through thick and thin all the time I knew her. I became known around the world for fighting for what I believed in. After every speech I made, I said failure is impossible, and for me, that will be true to the day.
Hi, my name is Laura Ingalls Wilder. I was born on February 7, 1867 in a log cabin near Pepin, Wisconsin. My mother's name is Caroline Quinter Ingalls. She was born in the Milwaukee area and grew up to be a teacher. My father's name is Charles Philip Ingalls. He was born in Cuba in 1836 and grew up to be a farmer. I have one older sister whose name is Mary. When I was only 2, my family moved to Kansas to allow my father to farm. When its crops failed, we moved back to Pepin. When I was about 6, I caught scarlet fever. My mother and Mary also caught it. One day when I went upstairs, I found Mary lying in an awkward position on the bed. I later learned that Mary had had a stroke and it had disrupted her vision. In other words, Mary was going blind. 3 years later, later, we moved to Walnut Grove. After a while, my sister Grace was born. Then my sister Carrie was born. By this time, Mary had gone completely blind. I was now 12 years old and was ready to go to school. Since we moved a lot, I went to many schools. As we moved, we lived on a lot of Indian territory. Because of this, Indians came to our big cabin often. On these nights, Pa played us to sleep on his fiddle because the Indians terrified us. One day, when we came home from seeing the Indian camps with Pa, we found Ma lying in bed with our new baby brother. His name wasn't official, but we called him Freddie. Freddie died when he was only 9 months old. We didn't want to leave his grave, but we were forced to in Pa's crops bed once again. In 1885, I married Alonzo James Wilder. A year later, we had our first daughter, whom we named Rose. After a while, I moved to Rocky Ridge Farm. While I lived at Rocky Ridge Farm, I decided to write children's books based on my life as a child. I was 65 when my first book was published. Children loved my books and they always wanted to know what I would write next. Alonzo died of a disease around the age of 80. When I retired, I spent most of my time either answering fan mail or spending time with my visitors.